Yes, good evening, and we're back with the Celtic Unrestricted View. It's myself, JP, and joining me this evening on this fine Monday evening for a Monday night chat of Celtic absolutely breaking hearts in the capital is my very good man. I don't know what I can call him tonight because he looks a wee bit more like Sean Maloney.
I'll give you that one.
You're doing well, right? You look as if you've nicked
I'll give you
Dr.
that
Joe
one.
You've nicked Dr. Joe Vengloss's jersey and stuff off him there. How are we, mate?
Aye, all good, mate. Like you says, broke hearts of many hearts on Sunday. So
Aye.
we did kind of predict it, mate, during the week on Friday. So myself, you and Bazza did predict it during the week, and then myself, you and Alan did say as well that I did say as well myself that normally these games you do expect them to be tough,
Yeah.
but I didn't think it would have been tough. And I think what we all called during the week, mate, it happened. So I am good, mate. Obviously, that's me fighting now, mate. So I'm getting old. So
That's it,
had,
son.
had to get the match free out, mate, and no grey hairs for the night, mate. So unfortunately, if anybody who likes grey-haired men, then I'm sorry, it's not me yet. So all good, mate. I hope you had a good weekend as well, mate. And thanks to the viewers for tuning in as well.
Yes, and I hope everyone that's joining us this evening has had a really good weekend and enjoyed, obviously, yesterday. I know I did, and we'll get to that in a moment. But, aye, mate, it's the usual for the weekend. You get to Friday and then you're kind of wishing the weekend's here, and then when the weekend gets here, it just tends to fly in now. You kind of blink and you miss it now. Couple of wee comments early doors. Plunges first up tonight. I think he's one of the ones that waits outside the pub for it opening. I think, know what I mean?
He's sitting waiting in Ange, like, no night,
He's
no
even
night.
doing that. Not a night. Not a night. Not a night.
It's like
No.
Jack Victor, hurry up, hurry up. Eyes is no
Evening,
getting
mate.
in.
Evening, mate. Oh, aye. Press that button quick. Come on.
Press that
Press
button.
that button. Aye, quick. And Jem joining us also from the YouTube. Evening, folks. Good evening, Ange. I hope you're well. Joseph Agnew. Hail, hail, boys. Hope you are well. Evening, Joseph. Hope you're well too. And evening, guys. Brendy Bo. What a name that is, by the way. That's probably up there with Big Bendy Devo when you came up with that
Big
for
Bendy Devil.
Big Bendy Devo, the Spanish centre back that came all the way up for England.
He's still
Evening,
trying.
Barry. I hope you're
He's
well.
still trying to claw that £4 million back to somewhere.
Aye. Good and easy win as predicted. Happy 30, Frank. There
Cheers,
we go.
Bunch. Thank you.
And JJI, happening, JP. Happening, pal. Hope you're well. Hope you had a nice weekend. Where do I start? Well, as I said, tonight's all about yesterday, and like I said, Ryan, Celtic break hearts in the capital all week. Last week, mate. Now I don't know if this is just me, but all week last week, all we heard, and the media went through the process of making us all aware, and all we've heard is it's got to be a hard game. It's got to be a tough tie. Celtic just back off an international break. We don't know how players are going to settle. We don't know how players have got on during an international break. Well, we do, because first and foremost, Callum McGregor qualified for the Euros. Greg Taylor qualified for the Euros. So we know how they got on. Matt O'Reilly got called up to the Danish squad, albeit he never got on, but he was called up and he was in about the squad. So that'd be positive for him as well. But this was the chat the whole week leading up to the game at the weekend was, how's Celtic going to cope now that, domestic football is, but as if we've no coped up till now, is more or less my point here. And like I says, mate, the media have went through the process there to try and bum this game up as if it was going to be a difficult game. And Celtic made it as difficult as they wanted to, in my opinion. And yesterday wasn't a fluke. Yesterday wasn't. I actually feel Hearts were a bit lucky in terms of only walking away before, because you look at the game back, mate, there's moments in that game where Celtic could actually, have been totally destroyed Hearts even more by more of an embarrassing scoreline. Probably so much so, Ryan, that I think they would be chatting about Stephen Naismith's future as the manager.
Mm-hmm.
With the way they were taken apart. They were taken apart by Celtic playing football. Now, when I say Celtic playing football, what I mean as well, mate, Celtic never got out of first gear yesterday. And we absolutely coasted that. Now, this is a team, Ryan, that not so long ago, mate, was meant to be the third dominant force in Scottish football. There's 5 away games we've had this season, and we keep being told every time, it's got to be a tough game, it's got to be a tough game, it's got to be a tough game. And we've just went and we've batted it all away. So, who's right, who's wrong here?
Where do we start, mate? With the media. Every time we get a new manager across the water, it's right, now's your time for Celtic to basically prepare for a big challenge. Apparently Michael Beale was going to topple Ange, never going to happen. Apparently he was going to topple Brendan Rodgers. If you think Mike, like I said before we come on, there's more chance of me and Calvin Harris trying to pull a bird. Who's going to pull a bird? Calvin Harris. Who's going to win league titles out of Michael Beale and Brendan Rodgers? Doesn't matter. It's not going to. Michael Beale was never going to miss a side for Rangers.
I wouldn't put yourself down like that, wee man, because I don't know.
Well, Calvin Harris. He's not got a successful half-time.
But it might be different if you met her in the summer. Who knows?
Well, that was acceptable in the 80s, wasn't it?
That was acceptable in the 80s, you're right, mate.
How deep is your love? I don't know yet. I know I'll need to find that one out. So, but in serious, mate, it's crazy the media chat. Again, I've said this before, I've got a lot of respect for guys who have been on the media for so long, i.e. Hugh Keevins. But now he's saying that Celtic are going to have a big challenge now with Clement. But he's also said that with Beale, he's also said that with Kassinia and Bram Bronckhorst.
Do they not call him a heavyweight as well?
Yes, he's facing a heavyweight. What is winning titles in Belgium a heavyweight? I'm not saying the guy's not a good manager, Barry, but I'm no, because to win titles, JP, you need to be good. But coming from Belgium and then managing Celtic or Rangers, told them to kill a fish. I think he got over £70 million to win the league titles. So he's not going to get that at Rangers. Name across the water. That's not happening. So, listen, mate, we could talk about everything about the media, but they go against Celtic and it's mental. Like you say, we did say on here, like Punch says, we did say that it'd be a lot easier than people think. I did say myself, get an early goal and it would totally silence the crowd. And we've done that, but that was what we've done, mate. So, every game at Celtic is a hard game because of the pressure. But I can quite happily now admit that we can all, again, my opinion, we can all start to slowly forgive what the manager now. People say he's got to come in and prove himself. Yes, the European side will take care of itself, but in terms of the away games in Scotland, mate, what else can he do? He's won them all. I know Kilmarnock was a wee blip in the League Cup, but I'm taking that as a blip because look at us now. We did say the other day as well that we're due to give somebody a doing, and that was 4-1 going on 8-1. It was ridiculous. In my opinion, if Celtic really wanted to step up again and step it up, it could be a lot more. And I'll let you come back in, mate, on the... Like you said on Naismith, mate, I know we're here to talk about Celtic, but the aftermath of the game is all excuse under the sun. And it fries my head, mate, that nobody gives what we do, either it's trebles, league titles, whatever it is, a good victory. It's always, but that other team weren't good. The referee wasn't good. There were so many fouls in the game. These goals could have been avoided. What goal could have been avoided? Every goal Celtic done themselves. It's what, just say you played a better team, you were undone with massive bits of quality, and your team couldn't handle it. Why can't you just say that? And like Lee Johnston against Hibs, when we beat them, battered them at Celtic Park, I think my players should go and ask
He was wanting his players to go and get dinner with Celtic players, wasn't he?
What's your takeaway menu? Is it sushi or is it what is it eating? Because whatever it is they're eating, it's making them better. But I know he said
sitting there with his rodeo jacket on.
It's nuts, man. If KYOGO's going to sit there with sushi and that, do you know what I mean? But I get what he's saying. He's saying we played a far better team. My guys need to get to that level, but other teams are making excuses. And for me, mate, I just want I don't want credit, but I want people outside to say, good performance, guys, by the way. Whatever Hearts done on Sunday wasn't going to happen because Celtic, like you says, mate, in my opinion, didn't come out of first gear, but it was a first gear where it could have been up within a few seconds. So, mate, overall, mate, very happy with the performance individually as well, but collectively, mate, fantastic win.
Obviously, I'll come in that in a wee minute. I'm just a bit taken aback here because Francis Lester's joining us this evening and he's asking who's Kelvin Harris.
Just Google him, Francis.
This is a guy, by the way. This is a guy, by the way, that loves music. And all you need to do is put him on your YouTube and and you'll probably see us first, but you'll need to skip by us and then just type his name in. And,
you've got a Spotify in it, one of the
ones.
Spotify.
Aye. But it's one of the ones. If you've got one of the
real music,
music,
I can get that one.
He's a DJ.
Sorry, twisty buttons, Francis.
Francis, if you're not kidding on, and you genuinely don't know who he is, he's a Scottish DJ who's really, really famous. He's actually massive in terms of the current modern music industry. So he does a lot of collaborations with singing artists and as I say, it makes a lot of noise in terms of his disco tunes. I put that in a term that you would understand, Francis, because if I said rave or dance tunes, mate, I might be a bit. But
discoteca in Spanish, isn't it? Discoteca.
Discoteca.
Discoteca,
aye. There's a lot of banging going on there, but it's not the kind of banging you're thinking.
That's a half 10.
Aye. So you spoke about Stephen Naismith there, Ryan. I actually listened to his interview after the game, mate, and I thought his interview was just as flat as his team. You know, the way he spoke, the tone that he spoke from. It's not what he said. I don't really think genuinely he actually tried to make any excuses. I think he was more gobsmacked at the fact that how good we were. And that's really the first time he's maybe saw that if he's became the Hearts manager. It's probably the most free-flowing we've been out there for a long time, as far as I can remember. Because when you get there, mate, it's not normally an easy game. It's, you know, but the way Celtic are playing now, Ryan, and again, mate, this, like I said to you, it's not a fluke. It's quite alarming for the other teams. Is how do you stop it, mate? You just can't. The amount of firepower Celtic have got and what they've got in their armour is frightening, mate. It's absolutely frightening. You look at individuality. We'll come to that. Obviously, we've got the manager's thoughts as well, and the players and Matt O'Reilly and Callum McGregor's interview as well. But I really do think that this team, like I says, mate, they've not even got out of first gear, and in my opinion, Ryan, they're swatting teams away now. The rest of the teams can't live with us. And I know there was a couple of people, saying about, like games were called off and this happened and that happened, but that's besides the point. That's got nothing at all to do with Celtic.
Mm-hmm.
Celtic have got to do their business. They've got to keep doing their job. And if we keep doing it with that sort of effect. Ryan, I don't see how we don't canter this league. And again, mate, I'm not speaking out of turn, and I'm probably going to end up in another podcast now, wait to see this. But I really don't, mate. I don't see how anybody stops a Celtic team. And like I says, mate, this team aren't even in. They've not even hot top gear. And you've got players still not even playing in the team.
Yep.
No. Narowski's not there. Abada wasn't there. Right away, there's probably two guys that would come in and make a difference. But they're not getting that. Abada's obviously injured, and Narowski's coming back for an injury. But like Narowski, in my opinion, mate, is going to, and I said it the other night, he's going to have to fight for his place now because they two are just they're playing at a phenomenal level. And again, Wednesday night comes, it's going to be Scales and Big Carter Vickers. And I really, like I says, mate, each and every position now, Celtic are well covered. You know, they've got a lot of depth in their squad now in terms of, quality level. I know we want to get better in terms of Europe and we want to do things there, but Scotland, Ryan, we are far above and beyond anything that's here. And again, mate, that's not talking out of turn. That's just seeing what I see. Your eyes don't tell lies. So I really do think when Celtic start, again, this is scary because they've still to get going proper. I really think somebody in the league is going to take a right down off us, whether it be at Celtic Park or away from home. I mean, we already went to Tannadice last season and won 9-0. This Celtic team are capable of that, Ryan, away from home as well. And I really do think, mate, when that clicks, a manager will lose his job because his team's just going to get totally obliterated right out of the water. And it's going to be good for us. It's not going to be good for the league. And these are teams, Ryan. Aberdeen took 3 off them. Hearts took 4 off them. These are teams, Ryan, that, out with the Glasgow teams, mate, these are teams that you're probably going to say are fighting to be the next go-to challengers. Sorry if I'm boring you, mate.
No, long day, mate. Monday.
But as I said, it's one of the, kind of, it's going to, Celtic have still to get better as well. And we're being told constantly, Ryan, along the way, they're struggling. They're not playing at their best. They're not doing this. They're not doing that. There's players want away. Hatate's not trying. His head's turned. He wants to go. All these guys have all signed their contracts now. So they're kind of now running out of things to say in terms of, your team are struggling. And I really do think this Celtic team now, as you can see, Ryan, are starting to motor. And before you know it, mate, I think they'll just push away for the rest of the league.
Well, I did put, I can't mind, I think it was after Rangers, they were close to water. One of their European games, I think. I did say on Twitter that we've got everything in our armour to go and blow Scottish football out of water. And with no excuse not win the league, we have no excuse, we've got all the finances, we've got everything we're miles ahead of them across the water in every capacity. And people can say, Ryan, I don't believe that, or I can argue. I'll argue a point, but there's really no point in the argument because the facts are every department right now is Celtic ahead of them across the water. They're ahead of every other team in Scotland by every margin you can think of, and that just showed you in Sunday there yesterday. That's apparently one of your bigger forces in the league, and you'd have thought you'd have probably thought they're doing the bottom half of the table. They were really, really poor. Again, we were really good, but like you says, what do you do to combat that? First of all, you need to be organised. They weren't organised. There were all other short parts. They didn't press for the front at all. Shankland, again, he's a goal scorer, but the way he plays, again, I did say, me, you and Baz were talking, Shankland and Barry Mackay, in my opinion, the only two outlet. Barry Mackay, obviously, I don't think he was playing actually. So Shankland, he's going to get service. Good goal, to be fair, can't finish, but he's not going to do doggies up the park to then get them up and then their team to get up. So they weren't organised enough.
Well yesterday, Ryan. I've noticed with Shankland, see when he's up against a different quality opponent than he's used to playing, like mid to lower the table. He then drifts because, like yesterday, he was drifting out to left and he was coming out.
He's trying to get involved in the game.
And when he's drifting there, he's then leaving him short. So Celtic are picking up every ball. It's, you know, again, I thought Scales was outstanding against him yesterday, mate, in terms of his physicality.
No,
and the way
he was, like I say, his own Scales, mate. We can all have opinions on him, but if he's playing like this, mate, it's going to be very hard for anybody to take over. But again, we've seen managers make decisions where they whip guys out and play guys before. So, but I can't see that, especially for Wednesday. It's not happening. We're running about the same team probably on Wednesday. But I own the game there, mate. Hearts weren't organised, mate, and you can see that. But was that down to us how we played? Probably yes, in a way, maced it in the majority of it. The early goal for me, I said to my old man, I was watching it. That's it done. Game's done. Because they weren't going to come back for that.
I know how you, because I was thinking that I was sitting myself watching the game yesterday, and I can actually, that's the way you think in it, because you see a Riley scoring that early, you're like, here we go.
Especially when Halloween's came early and they're all dressed up with seats. Do you know what I mean? They cut the allocation and they can't fall out their stones. It's mental. You know, I generally believe they all dressed up as Hearts fans in seats because it was ridiculous. And then the best part I like was the fourth goal.
Put a purple Jake on the back of our chairs.
The best part I seen was the fourth goal, by the way, and they're all walking away. And I'm like, you know what? That's brilliant. Do you know what I mean? Love it. But no, I thought we were really good, mate. I think if we did have to put up another level or two, I think we could have. Just the two touch, and actually, to be fair to him, I'll give him his due. I know he's part of the squad. Andy Halliday was on Super Scoreboard night, and he did say, from my view, Celtic were really good. It was all the two touches, and you can start to see now, JP, that the change of style, it's not similar to Ange, it's different because it's more possession based, but it is all 1 and 2 touches. And I did see in the second half, again, it's no a detriment to the guy Jan, because it's very hard to come on and do well when your team's already up and the game's just about done. But there's a few times O'Reilly was trying to play the ball quickly and he wasn't there, and he was like that because he's not in the game, and these guys are used to playing that tempo, and so I can see how quickly these guys are starting to play now. And just to Matt O'Reilly, mate, he's taking it on our level. I did say when about pre-season or the window when there was a rumour about a £10 million bid for Leeds, I was like, but that's no bad deal. I was like, that's actually £10 million. It's all right. If we could get a replacement, then maybe do it. But like I said to you before we come on, mate, totally retract that now. It's a ridiculous deal. He's at least £20 million plus now, him and Tatati. He's just glides past midfielders, mate. He's there all the time now, and he's even added goals to his game. He's adding assists. And like I says, mate, I know it's just probably a mentality, but he's going to have his suitors eventually, especially if he keeps them well in Europe. He'll have his suitors, and we'll have probably end of the season, mate, we'll probably have a question to ask. The club or the board will have a question to ask, like, what we're doing here, because there will be a bid. So again, but that's for later on. And on the now, mate, he's been brilliant. I hope he just continues this doing a form, and I think as well, JP, it just proves as well what managers can do. Obviously, Ange, he was good with Ange, but he's given O'Reilly a bit of no a leeway to go and do what he wants, but he's maybe gave him a wee bit of confidence. Yeah. He's maybe took him to the side. Again, like I said to you the other day, last week, one guy might need a rollicking, and another guy might need a wee cuddle. Right, mate? Yeah. You're the best in the world. And another guy might go, you need to up it. So he might have had a wee cuddle. Look, you're some player. Go and show it. So I don't know, but on Matt O'Reilly, mate, and just him, mate, the full team yesterday was brilliant. And again, I think you can definitely say that the manager's definitely adding wee tweaks there.
Absolutely, mate. Obviously, just touching on the manager, we've got some footage, a couple of wee bits of footage from yesterday in terms of the audio from the manager. Obviously, this is a question he's asked when, you know, at the end of the game, and he's obviously asked about his current team comparing to his Invincibles. I think he answers it brilliantly as well. The way he goes about it. I'll play that to allow people to hear it. For folk that's tuning in with us just now.
Team that you had, the Invincibles, for example.
Yeah. Listen, I think I get asked that question a lot. I hear lots of talk about the levels are different and everything else, and I don't see that. People said it's a stronger league now. When I was here the first time, but I don't see that. Aberdeen were a good team then. Hearts were competitive. Stevie Clark with Kilmarnock was competitive and very good. So it's just a different timeline, So, but what's most important for us is that come to grounds like this, which I think this is where you find out if you're a good team or not. I said before the game, because you're going to have difficult moments here, and that allows you to see how you deal with them. But I thought that the players dealt with it really, really well today, and it was probably as quiet as the crowd have been here in the times I've been here.
I think that is sell, right? And what I've always taken from Brendan, the way he speaks, mate, is he's very humble towards Celtic's opponents up here. He always speaks very highly his fellow managers and his counterparts, and I like the way he worded that in terms of he doesn't really see a difference. How the quality level in terms of is there a difference here or not? But I'm going to be honest with you and candid with everybody that's listening in and watching us at the moment. I really particularly think this Celtic team are better than his Invincible team in terms of ability, quality, and player disposal. In terms of who he's got available to him, if you look all around the team, I think Matt O'Reilly's every bit as good, if not better, than Stuart Armstrong. I think you've got guys like Rio Watati. I think he's a step up from like Ryan Christie. Callum McGregor's still there. You're probably looking at Tom Rogic. Again, would O'Reilly fit into that mode as well in terms of what he can do on the, especially big games as well, because O'Reilly's now starting to do that at a consistent basis. I think with O'Reilly, what's noticeable is he's lasting more 90 minutes now than what he was in the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
I was asked about PALMA in terms of, do I think he's, Jota's replacement, etc. I do think he is that kind of replacement, but is he that type of player? No, I don't think he is. I think he's more of a Riyad Mahrez that was at Manchester City. He passes the ball like a midfielder, even though he's an attacker. But he passes the ball like a midfielder. His vision is unbelievable. And again, we saw that yesterday with how he sets up the first goal. To even execute that dink pass, you actually see Palma looking up and judging that and saying, right, okay, go do it again. And then the one yesterday, for me, that sets up KYOGO's goal, the one that he hits that with outside his boot line.
Yep.
Now, obviously, that's not meant to fall right into KYOGO, but it was right in the path of a Celtic player. There was no way a Hearts player was getting that. It was just that obviously one of the Celtic players, I think it might have been Matt O'Reilly, he runs across the ball and kind of dummies the ball, if it's a better way of saying it. And then the ball breaks through a Hearts player into KYOGO's path. And KYOGO's not going to miss for there, but with Brendan talking there and trying to say, I think Brendan's very humble in that he knows that this side's quality also. But what I like about Brendan Ryan is he is making people better. Obviously, I'll bring you in, mate, and you can let me know what your take on that wee interview there. And then, obviously, you can answer this one. I think this is quite funny for Barry. He says, who's taking the next penalty? That's quite a good... I actually think his penalty wasn't a bad penalty, Barry. I think he just hit it that well, that he hit the post. He sends a goalie the wrong way as well. We'll come to the penalty as well, Ryan, because obviously I wanted to speak about this. I've now changed my opinion. Okay, my opinion was that it wasn't a penalty. I've now seen it back,
Just on what?
and it's a penalty. He
Just on
goes into
what?
the back of his thigh
Mhm.
with his knee. So for me, it's a penalty now. I didn't think it was. I thought it was very, very soft, but I've now changed that. But we'll come to that, mate. So first of all, mate, your take on Brendan's quick interview now with the guy, and then obviously your thoughts on terms of this team to his, his invincibles.
Oh, again, he's always good at his interviews, JP. Again, and that's where you can tell he's managed at a high level
Yeah.
because these guys are. It's the way they say it in the media. You just need to look at across the water and other guys in Scotland who have came to Scotland and their interviews have not been up to it. Like even Lee Johnson. Again, I was a big fan of Lee Johnson, but sometimes even down at Fleetwood, I know he's saying some of these big words, and you're thinking, right, are you just saying that just to look impressive, or is that what you're really meaning? I think I've again, maybe we've all said things in the past about Rodgers, but as a manager, mate, the guy's a great manager, JP. It's
Yeah, unbelievable.
nobody can sit without kidding on, without smiling and laughing at himself to say
Brian,
that.
see an elite manager also, mate. It doesn't just fall in your ability to manage, mate.
It's
Falls
everything.
into that
Aye,
category is the way you carry yourself as a
it's
manager.
just
as well.
small things. See, like done with stuff like a bad and stuff, and it's the wee small things, mate, that players appreciate. And this is fact. We don't see everything that because there can be conversations between him and players that we don't see.
Yeah.
Text messages or phone calls, FaceTimes, whatever you want to call it. So there's loads of things that managers do behind the scenes, mate. It's not just at the ground or the training ground and you get home. There's loads behind it, and that's why they're paid the top dollar, mate. But no, a good interview. I liked the bit at the end when he says it was one of the most silent they've been at Tynecastle. I like that as well. Again, I think that's a bit of a dig as well.
Yeah.
About the tickets, which he's done it without getting into trouble, which is good. So again, good interview and he's writing his assessments. The Invincible team, I would probably say in terms of a collective as a team and parts of the team of equality, this team is better. Even Angie's team is probably better as well. Probably say the only weak link I would say would be, I know Palmer's showed glimpses he's going to be a very, very good player, but I think for me, the guys like Scott Sinclair, he was phenomenal. I think he would fit in this team like a glove. Me, Mum, I'm actually talking about that game yesterday. Just imagine Kieran Tierney in that team. Just imagine that. I just imagine it. It's just he says that's when Ryan. In my opinion, he says. Well, in my opinion, I think our weak link is a left back and Taylor. That is for me. That's the weakest part of your team, in my opinion, right? So if you had a guy that who a bit quicker, a bit stronger. No, it's the truth. I'm just putting that. It's what I feel. It's one of the bits of the team where if we go better, especially the European side, you'll get a lot more joy. But again, that's no down Greg.
All right, Greg, don't listen to him.
That's no down him, mate. That's just me as a fan. That's just my preference. But he's again, to be fair, he played well yesterday, so it's no a criticism of him as a player. It's just
honestly, how good is he when he comes in and
listen, he was brilliant yesterday. Again, I'll always criticise as a fan when I feel criticised, and I'll always praise and I'll always go back on a game that done well. And again, nobody can be criticised yesterday, mate, to be honest with you. So, but
not even Jamesy.
No, again, I thought he done well when he came on, mate. I know we'll touch on him, but I thought he done well yesterday when he came on.
I wasn't going to, but I'm pretty sure you will.
No, he did play well, but on the Invincibles team and then the new mate, as a collective, probably yes, it's better quality, but I'd probably say you've been missing maybe another certain striker, probably to go with KYOGO if you were greedy, because Dembele, Edward and Griffiths are 100 times they play a big goal as, in my opinion. People might say it's disrespectful, but they are, as it stands at the moment. O's very young, he's very raw, he's still got a lot of potential to go further. But if you were just talking right now, Edward and Bella Griffiths to help the wee man, I think then, and Sinclair, and I think you're laughing, JP, I think they would, and Tierney probably, if you, so that's maybe 3 players who I'd maybe add to this team. And I think you'd have a very, very good teammate. So, and on Palma again, I think he showed a lot of quality. His vision was very good for the goal. That's not a fluky. He knows what he's doing there. And again, I said to you on the phone yesterday, the only thing I think he's lacking is that acceleration. He's no slow, but he's no quick at 10 yards. He's maybe a few yards, but he's no get the acceleration. But
see, he's not that explosive.
He's got
he beats people with cleverness and beats people with.
That's probably the only thing I think he's missing so far out of his game. I don't think, in my opinion, he's directly Jota's replacement. But he's technically, you can see he's good. He's very clever, and you can see he's going to be a very good player. And again, them across the water saying that they weren't wanting them or they weren't interested. That's because you knew you couldn't afford them and knew you're missing a very good player. So again, that as well. And penalties, I'm a big believer your striker should be taking penalties. So for me, KYOGO should run them all the time. Be that if he's no confident about taking penalties or the manager doesn't feel he's up to it. But for me, I'm a big believer of your attacking player should always take them. Either your two wingers or your striker. Ideally, I'd want my striker, my number 9, to take them. Because I'm saying that like I took myself. I think I took 2 penalties. I played up front, so I'm maybe contradicting myself here. But on my personal view, I'd like my strikers to take them to IP, but I think I tatted off him now. I think that's him. If once he missed one, I think that's you have to book, mate. But don't you feel on obviously the 2 invincibles again, and obviously the penalties, mate. But if I had my wish, mate, I would want my strikers to take the penalties.
No, I get that. No, I can understand that because even going back as far as Martin O'Neill's team, it was Larsson that was on penalties, and no, I get that. I understand that. I just think it comes down to a confidence thing. I think it comes down to somebody who's going to be able to step up, especially if it's like a big arena, a big occasion. And somebody that's got the minerals to carry that over. But I think comparing the two teams, for me, player quality wise, you look at AJ. I think AJ's probably miles better than Lustig. I know Lustig was a season pro and he was a great he was a great servant for us. I just think AJ's levels above that again. I get what you're saying about Tierney. I understand that. The 2 centre backs, I think Carter Vickers is probably better than Boyata and Simunovic.
Big time.
And right now, I would say Liam Scales is every bit as good as in terms of challenging for that. Because of the way he's playing at the moment.
Sorry, cut mate. You mentioned Boyata. I actually thought Boyata was decent.
No, I liked him as well.
But he actually left when he was getting better.
Aye.
He was starting to really get on a game, and then obviously he went about. I think he's the captain of Everton.
He's not with him now. No, he went to Club Brugge after that, didn't he?
I'm sure was he the captain there though, Berlin?
I think he captained him, but I don't think he was the captain. I think he did captain him in certain games, etc. But
when he left, I was like, he's actually doing well here. But sorry, I just thought to mention that I did like Boyata, mate. Sometimes he was a wee bit ditzy with some of the things he done, but in terms of I think overall, mate, I liked him, mate, and I thought it was a good bit of business for us.
I think KYOGO as well. That what was the penalty he hit and he hit the post?
I can remember, but I can't mind the team they put against.
If anybody in the comments can remind us there, just our fan, we can't remember, but he hit the post. I can't remember the team we played. Something's telling me it was at Rugby Park. I don't know if that's true, but something in my head's telling me it's Rugby Park. It was
can't remember, mate. Can't remember.
And he hit the post. It was either Rugby Park or maybe Tannadice. But he hit the post. And aye. And again, like you say, you miss that, you're taking off penalties. It was Giacomakis prior to that as well. He's took penalties. Big O's scored a penalty as well. David Turnbull was on penalties. And
McGregor's already an Aussie, no? McGregor's already an Aussie.
No, he's no, man. No, he's
scored a few, you know.
It must have been for other teams because No, I've seen McGregor hitting penalties, mate, and I put the PS4 controller down after that, mate, and just left it. I was like, oh no, man, come here, son. Come on out here and sit with me, big hook, one of the ones. But no, in terms of the two squads, I can understand why people will try to compare them, and because look at the talent we've had through the years, Ryan. We've been totally blessed. And by the way, it's a Celtic team that struggles all the time. This is, this is teams that struggle all the time.
We can't defend. We're a leaky defence.
Oh, we can't do this. We're poor defensively. And
is it not our best start to a league season since 2011 or something?
Aye. It's the first time we've won 5 away games since Brendan's first spell. For that season, for that invincible season. So
there you go.
That's us. It's, know at our best. And we've been to Tony Macaroni, Pittodrie, Ibrox, Tynecastle. Where else?
Ibrox, Easter Road, Tynecastle.
We've not been to Easter Road yet. We're going there the weekend.
Next week. Livingston, Motherwell, Fir Park.
Fir Park, it was, Fir Park. And we've also been down to Rugby Park, and albeit we get knocked out of the cup that day, but it's some record, Ryan. And these, at this stage of the season, these are all games in a season, mate, that you would think would wrap you up a title. You go on and taking full points in these games. I think I was talking to my dad about this the other day, and I thought I had that in my head, Francis. Thanks, mate. I had that in my head, and it was Rugby Park for some reason. It came into my head, and see, that's why I'm a gaffer, mate. My knowledge is there. It's just sometimes just gets a bit fuzzy now and again. But
just a Monday is good.
That's why I'm here. Just a Monday night. Monday night. You've not got that weekend pressure anymore, mate. You've got to use your noodle. You know what I mean? But no. As I say, it's when you look at it over a piece, mate. Listen, that's what makes champions at the end of the day, mate. That's what champions do. They go and win at hard venues. They go and win games that other teams. These other teams are taking points off one another because it's so hard to go to these venues. But Celtic are going and making these teams look amateurish. Why? Because we've got quality in my squad. And the rest of the league can't cope now. We just spoke to Anthony a couple of weeks ago, and you look at the finances it could potentially be coming our way in the next year, Ryan. Mate, that alone sets Celtic away out in front of Scottish football.
Yep.
Obviously, Celtic need to continue to spend that money wisely as they're doing just now, and continue to invest and do what they're doing, but just having that nest egg, to fall back on is frightening, mate. It's absolutely frightening. Obviously, we've got another part of Brendan's interview. We'll come to that now, and then we'll get the thoughts on that one. So here it's here.
It's a fantastic win for us. Of course, this is notoriously a very, very difficult place to come. But I thought a lot of our game was excellent. Scored some outstanding goals. Disappointing that we didn't score more, and 2 that the goal we gave away was a shame. But overall, on the back end of a lot of travel for some of the players coming back from international duty to put in a performance here and play that well was very good.
How key was setting the tone early today?
Yeah, very important. I said that you have to come here, you have to be able to start quick, and we have to bring the game to a level that makes it difficult for Hearts, that energy and quality, and the players did that.
Speaking to Matt O'Reilly there, his numbers continue to go up this season. He was being quite modest, but what is it about him this season that he's taken his game to another level? No,
it's just he's a wonderful football player, but it's known that when you're a number 8 or you're attacking midfield player, you want to have numbers. And it was a great ball by PALMA. He's shown that a number of times since he's come in, and when we watched him, he's got that quality to deliver. But Matty's finish was absolutely brilliant. First, he makes the run. we always talk about the penetration to get in behind the back line, but then to finish with that quality was very, very good.
Somebody else whose numbers that are good is KYOGO. That was his 60th Celtic goal. When in your first spell you had good strikers like Edouard and Dembele, Griffiths. Where do you rate him in terms of his contribution?
No, his contribution is very good. Like those players, they were outstanding talents. Celtic over the years have always had a talisman up front, but it's about the team. Really, he's a wonderful little striker. He gets goals, he makes runs, he can make more runs, but overall he's a fantastic focal point for us.
And there we are. Again, Ryan, it shows how humble he is there in terms of no want to, let the guy get carried away in terms of, he talks about KYOGO. And listen, we all know he's the main man of the team. He's the talisman of the team. But Brendan knows, in the way Brendan works, it's not just about KYOGO. It's about, there's other really hard workers there. And then, he goes on and mentions a massive word, mate, that you love using nearly every day. He talks about penetration. I seen your eyes lighting up there, mate, and that just totally lit a game up for you there. And I seen you getting, your whole morale there changed when that word get used, Ryan. No, the smile that came on your face when he said that word, because you use that word quite a lot at half 10, mate. So, it's one of there's no point in being modest, mate. No, we all know now. We all know what it's all about. But
well, I think in general life, we all like a bit of penetration. Do you know what I mean? So,
aye. Well, Brendan likes penetration in a certain way of playing football. But
just a John Collins, isn't it? Passing,
I think there was
the tempo,
passing, the movement, the tempo, the penetration. I think there was severe penetration happening yesterday in terms of the way Hearts were being penetrated, I'm afraid, because I reckon a few of them were walking off the park with sore something, and it wasn't feet, put it that way. So, but just the way he talks, Ryan, again, mate, I think he just handles himself amazingly, and that you just listen to the way he chats here, and the tone of his voice and everything, it never changes. He stays that calm and composed throughout, and I really do think that's, testament to part of him being an elite manager.
Yeah, totally. He's a fantastic man, so JP, and he speaks very well, and he'll never come out and really criticise the players, even if they've done something that'll be done in the house. We all know Celtic have always had great strikers. KYOGO's just added to that. We've always had great strikers, even in teams who have not done well. You've always had top strikers, even when Mowbray's team, I know it was only on loan, but we had somebody who's been very good. And
he disappeared there for a split second.
Sorry, mate. So, aye, the wee man's brilliant, JP, and again, he wasn't in the game.
He's the best since Henrik for me, Ryan.
Listen, that's always a divided opinion, mate, to people.
Of course.
I do think that he's just about there. I'm not going to sit and say right now he's definitely there, because I think I don't know if it's just I'm probably been nitpicky at all the guys we've had, and some guys have been better all-round strikers, but he's probably, in terms of being clinical and being a striker, he's definitely probably at, if that makes sense. But there's guys who have got different parts of the game that it's just not his game. But that's not me downing him. That's just, I'm maybe been picky. I think that you want the overall best. So, but if you're probably to say, if you were just going on probably finishing and just the way he is as a do nothing for 80 minutes and then scores a goal, you'd probably say yes. Because I don't think we've had, Edouard did do that, but Edouard was totally different to the wee man. But he's different class, JP. He's an absolute phenomenal finisher. I didn't think he'd done much just in the game yesterday. Again, that's just in my eyes. But I guarantee if you go and look at his videos, he's taking defenders away, going and taking the ball and doing the channels. He does stuff that, this is why these guys are all paid up, like Brendan Rodgers, all the coaches and whatever. They see things that we can only see parts of the games when it's showing you the ball. We don't see the other bits that he's doing. So, he's different class, mate. And the manager, mate, I'll talk about Rodgers to the hilt in terms of his ability as a manager. Doesn't matter if we lost a league or we lost a cup or we lost a game. It's not going to change my mind on him, mate, because he proved tenfold that he's a top manager. And I just think the way he speaks, mate, is phenomenal.
Absolutely, mate. I think it's just the way he carries himself. That alone's elite without his actual ability to manage and coach. It's the way he makes people better. It's you know, the way he is as a manager, the way he handles himself with a squad, and you're listening to you know, players being with him, and you know, obviously being around him regularly. I think you get that vibe right away. You know, the way he handles himself is just a guy that oozes class, and you see the way, like I've said to you before, mate, he's quite humble in his approach to when he's coming up against other managers. Like we've seen it with other managers who tend to have this sort of like siege mentality. Brendan doesn't have that. And you know, he's very respectful of the way he speaks about other teams and other players and other managers, and that alone, mate, you know, carries a massive can, because a lot of managers don't have that in them, Ryan. You know, that humility to be that humble, and it takes a lot for someone to be that composed all the time, and he isn't a ranter or a raver, or he might be a raver when Celtic won the league right enough. He might be up there dancing and jigging about, but he's definitely not a screamer and a ball and shouter. He's probably got his wee moments where he has to be stern and candid with people, but that's his way. That's his way of doing it. You listen to guys like Matt O'Reilly. I think Matt O'Reilly's benefiting from playing under a manager like Brendan Rodgers because of, you know, Matt O'Reilly broke it down, and you know, he was saying stuff like, you know, he comes and has lunch with us in the canteen. When me and you chatting about this last week, mate, he tell everybody he took a bad out for lunch just to try and settle him down, see where he is in terms of his, you know, his mental state and what's going on. I mean, what's happening just now in the country that Abada comes from is shocking. And as I say, that's for a manager to understand and show that empathy and sympathy for the people that he's, you know, working with and beside. It speaks a lot about the person, mate. So just that alone for me, mate, it sets Rodgers aside for other managers. Many managers, do you know, would take a player out for some lunch just to, you know, just to get where he is in terms of how you feeling. I know you're injured, you're not playing, it must be frustrating, but I know what else is going on in the world, and I know what else is going on in your life. So how you feeling? Where are you at? Is there anything we can do to help you? Is there anything, you know? I'd have walked away for that going like that. It's unbelievable. Look.
It's the management side. It doesn't matter, obviously, what's happening in the world room. It's again, it's not for me to talk about because it's not my.
No, it's nothing at all.
But what he's done when things like that happen to your life, i.e., if it's affecting you or you're involved in it or whatever, the fact that he's took his time out to go and take, people might think that that's just. So I've seen people on social media saying that was to make him look good. If he didn't say, if that wasn't publicised by the media, nobody would have known that he'd done that because there was no photos yet, nothing. So people try to say that he's trying to biggies. No, he's just saying that he manages players. He's making sure his players are all right to come out to train the next day. If you need a few days off to go, and I know Abada runs anyway, but it wouldn't have mattered if it was Abada, if it was Scales, if it was Forrest, if it was O'Reilly. If you're having a tough time behind the scenes, then a manager, that's part of your job, is to say, right, are you okay? Are you all right to train? Are you in the right headspace to come in and do your work? Because do yourself, JP, it doesn't matter if it's me, you, or a football player. If you're knowing the right, because let's be fair, a football player is a job. It's a job. That's their job. So if I'm not in the right headspace, you're in the right headspace, anybody in who's watching, if you're in the right headspace to go and do your work, then your bosses get the duty of courtesy, listen, take a few days off, and you don't come in, because you can't work it, especially take away our jobs, but you can't work it at that level if you're not right. If you're not right, because we've seen it on obviously with Shane Duffy, stuff that happened in his life. You can see that he wasn't himself in that season. I know a lot of players weren't, but that season affected a lot of people mentally, and we don't see all that. So again, mate, that was, I'll let you come back on that. I just thought I'd come and say that, mate. But he's definitely, people can say about him what he done and whatever, but he's definitely a man for people, mate. He's a man that looks after his players, and again, I know people might say he's flashy and he's got a Gucci belt, he's got this, he's got that, but listen, as a manager and as a person to his players, I think we can all say that he handles it very well.
Absolutely, mate, 100%. And obviously, finally, we've got Matt O'Reilly's interview along with Callum McGregor and how they thought yesterday panned out. I just want to bring everybody's attention to how quirky Matt O'Reilly and how calm he is in terms of, again, a boy that doesn't get carried away, doesn't, he's not big-headed, definitely no, and he's pretty modest in terms of the way he speaks about himself, and he kind of leaves, the praising to other people. But I'll let you hear what he had to say. I thought it was quite funny myself.
Today, it was tough, to be fair. I think 4 goals is very impressive at a place like this, to be honest. We took our chances when they came, and I even think we probably got a few more second half if we're a little bit more ruthless. But if you win 4-1 away at this kind of place, it's a good performance regardless.
We keep asking you, and you keep delivering you talking about your numbers up in your assists and your goals. Yeah. What has it been this season? Has that been something just on you, or is it something the manager's done, your teammates?
Just getting lucky, especially with my assist today. I shot and I've skimmed it to KYOGO, so that's a bit of luck. And I think when you're in that kind of open kind of frame of mind, things kind of do fall to you. But yeah, I've probably just been getting in the box more this season, and when you get in the box more, you're naturally going to score more goals.
He's trying to be a bit modest there, but tell us about what he's been doing and just how much he's improved.
Yeah, it's been super. Like you touched on there, probably a little bit of luck, as in the sooner you get a goal, then you feel good about yourself. But listen, he came back in the summer in incredible condition. He clearly worked really, really hard over the summer, and he totally deserves his vein of form and his goals and assists. And he's such an important player for the team. He makes his tick in that first phase of the game, and then he's joining in and getting goals and coming up with big goals and assists. So he's a top player, and he just keeps working.
Another man who's a top player and who keeps working is KYOGO. 60 goals now for Celtic with that one today. Just tell us about him and just how key he is.
Yeah, he's incredible. I speak about it all the time, how important he is for the team. He scores in big moments. He's finishing. His one-touch finishing is probably as good as I've seen and played with. So he deserves all the goals that he gets. Again, coming here, difficult place. He gets us a big goal just after half-time as well. So another really important player for us. And we just keep him fit and healthy. That's the main thing.
Just touching on, obviously, Matt O'Reilly there. I mean, his answer to that was, "I just get lucky." It's. I think he's, how modest he is, and I think to clarify there for me, I was right in terms of KYOGO's goal. It was O'Reilly that cut across from Palma's flick in for the outside his boot, and it was O'Reilly that skimmed the shot, and obviously then KYOGO put it into the net. The way the way McGregor speaks about both of them, I think these guys know, mate. Our team is littered with quality, and it's genuine quality, Ryan, that can go up against anybody, in my opinion. Robbie's he's actually just mentioned it there as well. It's not just the fact of their goal; it's the Tomoki Iwata's finish as well, Ryan. Who again, I thought an energy level that was, the game's kind of dying a death. Hearts are probably dead in their feet at that point. Iwata comes on, and I thought he just injected Celtic with an energy in their midfield that sustained that constant pressure on Hearts and keeping Hearts at bay, mate. And I really do think, again, it's testament to the training, the hard work that's going on behind the scenes under Brendan Rodgers.
Yeah, definitely. What Robbie says is spot on, mate, in terms of what I thought he played really well. He was busy, he was energised, he was getting it in the thick of things. Maybe trying too hard to impress, but he did impress. He done well. Again, just done well, mate. And again, it's a guy that, like I think Brendan says, there's guys who are training very hard and they know they're coming off the bench just to maybe play a wee bit of time, but they're still contributing.
Yeah.
But they know they're still contributing. Even the guys that maybe are just training, they're not, maybe no in the team. They're still contributing to the team in some capacity.
Yeah.
So it seems to be that he's trying to involve everybody, even the guys who are not playing. Again, I know Rodgers did say that he will be a big player in the months to come, but I think unless he rotates the squad, well, he did say that at the start of the game. He did say that they won't be the same team over the next few weeks, but I think me and you and Baz did say that, and Aaron said that last week, that it wouldn't be the same team because of the options we've got and the intensity of the games. So you might see Wednesday, maybe not Wednesday, but you might see Saturday. You might see Saturday a different two centre backs or different two wingers just to freshen up. But I've liked to be bits and bobs him. I've not seen enough from him to think that he's going to be fairly good enough. Again, I'd like to see more of him. A few of our games to really put that in place for me personally. It's okay, can off the bench and doing 10 minutes here and there, but for us as fans to really, really say how good guys are, they need game time. You can see he's got something, but as a whole, we can't say he's good enough until he gets proven game time, which again is how that will happen, who knows. But that's got a good point that John said there. I don't know what you say to the full thing, but it was true about Hatate. The only criticism I can give Hatate is he does give the ball away too much. And if that's
he's more or less saying that you can't do that at Champions League level.
No, that's what I'm saying. You're spot. I actually said that, John, to JP actually after the game, that it's only small critical part of his game that if he gives the ball away like that on Wednesday, we'll get punished. So he's got to take that out of his game, but the other side of his game, he's different class. Yeah. And like you said there about O'Reilly, mate, he's top. And I think I said to you last week, in his interview before the game, he's a guy that knows he's playing well. He knows he's getting better. He knows he's confident. He just knows he's doing well. And I think he knows he's going to take his game another level under this manager. And again, McGregor, mate, again, he was that good yesterday, didn't get mentioned. He just does the simple things, and that's why he's playing at the level he's playing at, JP. That's why he's the captain of Celtic.
I think he's that much praise, Ryan, that I think it's beyond that now. So other people are getting a wee mention now because
you don't mention it now. You don't mention it now because he does it all the time now.
Yeah,
but
because he's
was actually speaking. I actually think he's better going forward. But my old man watched the game yesterday. He's actually Ryan. I actually prefer him being where he is.
Yeah.
Just keep him at the back, taking it forward. Let O'Reilly do that forward. He's actually he's not changed his role, but he's settled in there now because O'Reilly's up there doing well now. So I'll like to get back in on there too, mate. But definitely, I think the interviews are brilliant, mate. And I think there's a wee bit of, I don't want to say arrogance about the team, but they know they're starting to motor. And listen, I'll put my hat out in the line. I'll put my neck on the line that I believe will in the next few weeks, mate, will blow teams out of the water. And I totally agree. There's one team that's going to get, shall we call, penetrated a lot. Hopefully it's on Saturday, but I think there's a team that's going to get a 7 or 8-0 because some of these chances we're missing, if they go in the net, mate, it's a long, long way back.
No, eventually it's going to click. Like we saw it last season against the United, 9-0. These players are too good, Ryan, for a game to bypass, for Celtic to continue just winning with 4 and 5, especially with, like I said to you, mate, the firepower we've got, the absolute, the amount of answers now we've got in the team. You take Maeda off, you can bring, again, I thought he was very good yesterday in terms of James Forrest. Just if I talk to you, he continues at that level, great. You're bringing Maeda off, you're bringing him on, he's still affecting the game, he's still doing this. You're bringing PALMA off, you've got Yankee come on, who's full of running power. He doesn't get in, he chases balls back away. He's good at going back away and he is going forward. So again, yeah, long may it continue, mate. And like I say, if we get guys there at Tilio, home, Lagerby Elka. Well, Lagerby Elka and home went away and played well for their international teams. Excuse me. And again, they're not getting in the team. You see snippets of Bernardo, again, coming off the bench. These are guys that haven't yet played.
Even what surprised me was that Mikey Johnson was on the bench. That was surprising, considering that he was praising him after playing 60 minutes or so for, I think, was it 60 minutes or 90 minutes for Ireland? So I was a bit right. So when is he going to get game time then? So again, that was probably the only thing that again, it shows you how big a squad is, JP. How big that maybe in the summer or January we will need to start cutting. We will need to start cutting some players because
I think that's a big shout there with Robbie.
I agree. Praise is getting boring from McGregor. That's become the norm. Tough.
I think that's a massive shout, by the way.
I can agree with you. I can agree with you, Robbie, but I think for the
it's one of the ones, Robbie, as well. Horses for courses, mate.
I can totally agree. I can totally see his point there, JP. It's a very good point. Yeah. Didn't think of it, but I think Hatate's more experienced in these games. I know he gives a ball away. I know that. I get that, and it might be punished, but he's better going forward than Awata. He does more going forward in terms of creating chances.
Hey, don't bet on him. That finish yesterday.
I know, but in terms of, but this is what I'm saying. We've not seen enough of him I've not seen enough of Awata to say he deserves to play.
When you look at that, you know, finishing ability yesterday, you've got to be saying to yourself, right, hold on.
That's a very good, son. It's a very good point that Robbie says. But again, I can't just change my mind on Awata just because he won cameo role. No. I did say a few weeks ago that I didn't think as yet he was good enough. I didn't think he was going to step up. But again, he has got to get games to prove that fully. So on Wednesday, JP, I know we'll probably leave that to Tuesday and Wednesday during the week, but we've got to be solid. Hatate, no leading the ball away. McGregor, keep him solid. O'Reilly, solid. Scales. Everybody's got to be on it because if we're not on it, you've got guys like Griezmann and Morata up front who Morata gets a lot of.
I agree with Martin. I know people might think
it's got to be
it's going to get eventually. It is going to get eventually.
Again, Martin, I'm the same as JP. Eventually, I've got a lot of faith. Eventually, it's going to come good. But I have been saying it for years, and I think we'll length it this time. It will come good. If we get a result on Wednesday, then it opens the group up, and it will give us a lot of confidence. But again, JP, I did mention it before the Lazio game, going to cut out all this guitar carry on, all this, going to make the atmosphere, make it ferocious again, make it teams want to fear coming here, because that, mate, I've said to you, I'd love to go and listen to Grace at Celtic, but hey, can I make them listen to Grace? I can't wait.
Hold on a wee minute.
What's this?
You telling me there's something wrong with a guitar?
No, before a game of football, before a big, massive night, they're making it's maybe a showpiece event. It's no a get into Celtic Park, ruffle them up, get the crowd on their back. It's maybe a come on in, we'll welcome you. You'll get served in here. Do you know what I mean? That's the way it's kind of gone. So, but no.
Last time you had a guitar, you broke your G-string, didn't you, man?
Right, that's it. I'm done with that. But no, overall, mate, I'm looking forward to Wednesday, and I agree. I'll let you back in on that, mate. But on Awata, good point Robbie makes. But on my opinion, I think you can. Well, you can, but in my personal opinion, I don't think I'd be moving the free just yet.
I don't think he'll move it, no, but I can understand. And by the way, I think that's a brilliant shout for Robbie. I really do.
No, that is.
I never looked at that there until yeah, no, I can see it, Robbie. Obviously, he's saying his calls based on the opposition. No, he's never looked, that's true as well, he's never looked out of place when he's come off the bench for us. And he's never, for me, he's always been a right steady, an able player to come in and show levels of quality. I think he carries a level of calmness to his game as well in terms of the way he passes. I think he's physical and he closes people down at speed. And I really do. No, listen, there's no maybes about it, Martin. Like we've says, mate. I already think I know Ryan's saying he's maybe no seen it yet, but I've seen enough in Iwata to know that which is why we signed him permanently, to know that he's got to be a player. He's a lot different for Daguchi. So I'm just catching that comment there for Anjem. Games like that shouldn't be showcase games. Away fans and players need to know they've got a fight in their hands. No, that's fair enough, but they would know that when they take to the field of play. When Celtic are right in their faces and squeezing the game. I think Madrid struggle with teams that play up against them. They're going to get that on Wednesday night. I watched Feyenoord do it for 35 minutes in the second half of their game, and Feyenoord created some amount of chances against them just by pressing against them and going high. Madrid have got players that like to have the ball but don't want to be tackled. No, guys like McGregor and Iwata, etc., will tackle you. Even Matt O'Reilly will tackle you. You will be tackled in this game on Wednesday. I know Francis is saying they're a physical team. We do have physical attributes in our team also. Again, I thought, you look at yesterday, guys like Scales, Carter Vickers, we're not suddenly with the addition of Scales to this team. You look at even Big O when he came on. People can say what they like about Big O. One thing he does have in abundance, Ryan, is physical presence, and he puts it about. And we Atati, I quite like the way he's got this John McGinn thing going on now, where he sticks his bum
Big
into
arse.
people and
Do that arse thing.
I do that arse thing. That's what it's like. Seriously, that's what it's like. It's like kind of nudge him, and I quite like that with Atati. We can be physical. We showed it yesterday. We went to Tynecastle, and there was no aspect to the game we lost out in yesterday. None at all. That's why we were so dominant, because we covered every base. And, guys like Shanklin tried to be physical with Liam Scales, and Big Scales is like, what are you doing? Out of the road. I watched Liam Scales put Giacomakis in his backside for Greece when he played against Greece in his debut for the ROI. Big Scales is physical. He's a big boy. He's a big lumpy lad, and he's got a lot of strength. And I seen him when he took his top off when we beat Rangers at Ibrox. Anyway, he did well at your half 10 show, mate. Honestly, he's not bad there. By the way, not bad for a kind of.
Not bad for a ginger Irish guy.
He's not bad for a big ginger Irish guy. He's not like the other ginger Irish guy we had in the middle of the park. Saying that, Wee Lennon was a specimen in his day. But
maybe an 8-pack or a 6-pack.
Maybe an 8-pack, but aye, that must have been in the fridge then. Aye. But no, mate, I know we're coming to the end, and obviously, we could chat about this all day. Talk about chatting all day. We are on during the day this week, folks. So from tomorrow and Wednesday, we are on at 11:30 a.m. Just again, another chat, Celtic, and yeah. We had a meeting with the costume designers, Robbie, and they weren't happy with what I've seen the last couple of weeks, mate. So they've told us to up our game. And Ryan's been watching. He's been in the house all weekend watching Men in Black with Tommy Lee Jones and Will Smith. So he's like, I've got an idea. I think he's trying to turn it slowly but surely into the commitment side of the podcast. But no, I think I'm looking forward to it. As I said, tomorrow and Wednesday, folks, will be on at 11:30 in the mornings. Again, wee coffee, wee Kit Kat, whatever you want to bring along with you. I know you've normally got your cuddly toys not kicking about, Ryan, so we'll probably no doubt see them.
No, I've lost him since Gio left my Papa Soul 10 years away now.
Oh, you're kidding, man.
I gave it to Oscar at Doug, so.
All right. Wee Oscar.
No.
Wee Oscar running about with Gio's teddy. That's a contradiction in terms.
Roy, where are you?
Aye. It's not that, man. The Dogs came back fluent in Dutch.
I came out of pedigree, chum.
Just don't say it twice to him. That's double Dutch, mind.
I carried double Dutch seasons, can't do that, man.
Aye.
Double Dutch and double Dutch.
No, as I say, it's we're getting used to these mornings now as well. I'm on tomorrow. Big McCourt's back with me tomorrow, so he'll have 6 cans of tinnies, and no doubt he's sitting there with his George Best DVD on.
We 6 cans of tinnies and a wee hoose and tiny
Six,
hoolish.
aye, wee tiny cottage, empty house and tiny hoolish. Aye, have a look. Hey, well pixelated or a Wi-Fi, maybe. 1 minute, one of these screensavers when your laptop's been on too long and it bounces about all your screen.
It's on Netflix, isn't it? Are you still watching?
Just see Big McCourt's face bouncing all your laptop. That's the only thing my laptop wants to see. That's why I'm tuning in for tomorrow. But,
Francis, you're maybe better getting my Mancini maybe on Wednesday, because I need to let my gut settle after the weekend. So
aye.
Wednesday might be better, mate.
Aye, too many packets of salt and vinegar on the weekend,
Aye.
Francis.
There's too much with Jamie Dodgers yesterday for that win. So
aye. But before we aye, there can a 7-up at the end of the game or not. But before we finish up. Japan's no bad for you, by the way. You must have spoke your kind of Heinz there, didn't you? Try to type that.
Win a lot.
Aye, that's not bad. That's actually not bad for him, by the way. But before we disappear, guys, as we all know now, this podcast is sponsored by AB Entertainment. AB stands for Mr. Alec Beveridge. And like I said, it's an entertainment, but DJ business and entertainment business. The telephone number is the telephone number that's on your screens. If you can't see the number is simply 07845 746 092. If anybody has got any functions coming up, or even work functions, you know, you've got like a night out coming up for Christmas or a Halloween party, anything at all, and you're looking for some entertainment, please don't hesitate to get in contact with Big Bev, because he will fulfill your wishes very, very well in terms of entertainment, because that's what the man does, and he's very good at it. That is the WhatsApp as well. You can contact him on there. He is on Facebook and Instagram also. Before we finish up, guys, as well, also to let you know, we have got some merchandise, as we all know, up for grabs, guys. We've got these fantastic mugs, and they are priced at £5. And these keyrings are priced at £1.50. If you want to get your hands on any of this stuff, guys, just give us a message on any of the above channels: Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. You can also message us in the community section of our YouTube channel. I seen a couple of comments at, well, near enough the beginning of tonight. If anybody wants to catch up with any other, episodes that you think you might have missed, you can do so by going on to the YouTube channel and just going to the live section, and all the episodes are there. We also have a playlist set up, and that's got the majority of our guest episodes in there. We are hoping over the coming weeks, folks, to get some more guests on for you. But to do that, guys, all we need you to do, if you like the content, is please like and subscribe to the podcast. And it's totally free to do it. It doesn't cost you any money, as we don't charge for this content. Like I says, guys, we are on this week. Tomorrow and Wednesday, we are on in the mornings. We are back on Friday evening, about 8:30 also. So that is quite a busy week for us. Ryan, have I missed out anything, mate? You want to add anything? Or
no, obviously in terms of the content we do, the more content we provide, the more subscribers we get, the more content we can do, i.e. guests, and it's all for the fans, it's all for the Celtic fans. We do this for yous, that's why it's free content, and all we ask is subscribe and share to your Celtic family and your Celtic friends. That's all we ask. The more that happens, then the more we can get more content, i.e. guests. For some fabulous guests that are on the playlist, as JP mentioned. I don't really need to mention them because they're on the playlist and they are really good guests and some very, very good guys in the game at the moment and some guys previously in the game. So again, if I've seen a few comments as well saying they've missed some and stuff like that. So if you do want to go on the playlist, they are on the playlist, and you'll get every episode basically since we started. We are also on Spotify if you prefer to listen, Apple Podcasts, all the type of platforms as well. But again, thanks for support, and we keep going to a big week ahead.
Yeah, thank you very much, guys. It's been a pleasure being back on and having a chat with you. Before we go, guys, as well, I've not said this for a while, and I don't want people to get lost in translation or anything at all. And it's not that we've given up or we have forgot to say. It's just normally at that time there's something else going on, or we're chatting about something else. If anyone is sitting by themselves and they're maybe not feeling good about themselves, and you think you are having some mental health issues at the moment, please don't hesitate, guys, to get in contact with us, okay? There is always someone there that will listen to you, and I am that person. What I'll do for you just now, guys, I will put my Twitter handle and Ryan's Twitter handle up on the screen for you. And if anyone wants a chat over the coming days or even the coming weeks, if you need to build that sort of Dutch courage, as you call it, to reach out, our DMs are open, folks, okay? Anybody at all. Could be anything at all, even if you just want to chat about Celtic or, maybe something's going on in your family. You don't want to speak to someone who's initially close to you. Sometimes it's better to speak to a total stranger. Then please don't hesitate, because like I says, what you see with us too on here is what you also get from us too in your life as well. We don't change, but we are different people. This isn't like we're not reading from a script, or we're not actors, and we're not doing this. So anybody at all, guys, and it doesn't matter what team you support. We aren't judgmental here at all. If you're a Rangers fan and you still want to come forward and you think myself or Ryan's quite approachable, maybe willing to listen to you. It doesn't need to be just based on because we're Celtic fans and you're a Celtic fan, then that's the only reason why you can reach out and speak to us. When it becomes that side of things, I think life's more important than what football team you support, I'm afraid. Well, that's just the way I look at that. So yeah, if anybody, as I said, wants to do it, please don't hesitate to reach out. And again, anybody that's maybe struggling and want to reach out, please send them over as well. Send them our way, and we'll do our very best to try and put them in a better mindset in that moment, folks. But again, guys, I will see you tomorrow morning at 11:30. Myself and Big Paddy McCourt, bright and early. I just hope he's ready to go, because I know I will be.
I'd just like to add to what you said there about
I will try and prepare him and tell him to bring a brush.
Obviously, mental health side, again, football's a massive thing for that. And we all noticed that, JP, during obviously the lockdown stuff. So, again, me and JP, I know we have a laugh on here. We like to obviously have a laugh and a joke about other team and stuff, but in general aspect of life, if anybody does have any issues, if it's themselves, family issues, I know we're no experts at anything like that, but if it's to do with football, anything in life, we'll happily have a 2-minute chat with you. If it's whatever at all, a problem shared is better than nothing. So it's actually better probably to share. You keep it in. We've seen these days how hard it can get for people. So there's people who've reached out to us before, so we know we can handle if anybody does want to speak to us. So please reach out if it has to do with football or anything at all. Myself, JP, and Alan, Big Pad and McCourt, he'll be here as well. So anytime at all, we like JP said, DMs are open. So just give us a wee shout and take care, and hail.
Yes, hail, folks. See you tomorrow.